We'll always be together. Together in electric dream. Oh, sorry, bad singing. I promise I won't do that again, honest. Can you think of any other songs, by the way? Electric Dreams, Electricity by OMD, or you could go band-wise and go AC/DC, couldn't you? Any other songs or anything by musicians to do with electric, etc.? Anyway, that's not why we're here today, because you're here because I'm going to take a journey in my all-electric Porsche Taycan. Now, we've done it a million times, but basically we've done it around motorways and A roads and M roads, etc. However, today I'm going to take a journey from right here in Pudsey in Leeds, New Pudsey in Leeds, all the way to the Lake District, which we went to the other day, but we went via the motorways. Now, that's easy to charge there, isn't it? We know you can pull into a service station and you can get ripped off and being given a bottle of Vaseline before you charge your car up with GridServe or Instavolt or whoever they are, because they charge an absolute fortune. However, that's fine. It's not really down to the cost. What it's down to is, if you take Britain's beautiful B roads, what's it going to be like to charge then? So I thought, right, okay, well, we'll do that, because I've done this journey before and it takes us via, I think, Bingley and then through Guiseley and Skipton that way and then Ingleton at the end, and it's a beautiful journey through Yorkshire over to Cumbria, and it's got some fantastic views as well. And I thought, well, I'll take you guys with us and we'll also see what the charging infrastructure is like on the way, because I know, I've had all the evangelists saying to me, electric cars are the future, etc. Now, I've never had an issue with the way electric cars drive. I've said my Taycan drives wonderfully. It's got amazing torque, but the infrastructure itself is diabolical wherever you go in the world. So let's head off to the Lake District from right here in Pudsey. If you do like the content, by the way, do me a favour, it doesn't cost you a penny. You won't get a shock. See what I did there? It's free, so just hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go. So this is actually my favourite way to go to the Lake District from Leeds. When I go to the lakes with Sarah and the children, we always go this way. She never wants to go the motorway way because it's a bit more boring, isn't it? It's nicer to look at the countryside and the British countryside, etc. And it is a gorgeous ride. And Ingleton as well, we always stop off there and get some fish and chips on the way up to the Lake District when we go up. It is an amazing route. The only thing is, as I say, charging infrastructure. Now, I do know there is a charger in Ingleton, but I believe it's a pod point, and I think it's a really, really slow charger. And that's the issue with the B roads at the moment and the infrastructure in general in the UK. It's just not good enough. And if we're going to take electric cars seriously, and we do want them to be the future, then they're going to have to up the game with the infrastructure. And is it really down to the government to put in and help us on that? And the other issue is, with all these different chargers, you've got different prices, you've got different ways of paying. Some of them are contactless, some of them you have to download an app. It is an absolute nightmare. It's not simple. They need to simplify it. It needs to be one form of payment, really, really easy. And that's it. That's the only way that it's going to work. The other issue you've got to have as well is there's got to be some form and some way of actually standardizing a rate of charge from these places, because the amount they're charging per kilowatt is, I mean, they literally do need to supply a bottle of Vaseline with it, or KY jelly, because they take your pants down when you go charging on these chargers. And it's only going to get worse, because at the moment, say 75p per kilowatt, etc. Well, can you imagine when there's more and more people got electric cars? It's supply and demand. And these big companies, like the energy companies that you've got, and the gas and the electric companies, they make an absolute fortune. It's always the shareholders and the big bosses and the big cats that are making the money out of it. Well, as people on the street, we're getting spanked left, right and centre. And it's going to be like that with electric charging points, because it needs to be standardized. It needs to be cut off at a certain price. There needs to be a price cap for these electric chargers, because it's going to get worse and worse. And believe me as well, the government are going to have their cut of it also, because they're taxing petrol and they're taxing fuel. If petrol goes and your diesel goes, oh, believe me, the government are going to want their share of your electric charging points, and when you charge up at an electric charging point. And that's the issue. And the other thing is, every one that I've been to, there's always a problem with them, whether they're out of order, they're not very reliable. So there's an amalgamation of things and hurdles to get over before, I love it when people just pull out in front of you, before we can actually go all electric, if ever. That's why I don't think personally it's a viable option, and it's not even clean energy. If you look at what it takes as to mine the cobalt, I think I said children mine the lithium. They don't, I got that wrong. They mine for cobalt. So you've got children as young as 5 and 6 year old mining for these batteries. It's ridiculous. And even you've got the Extinction Rebellion that I said the other day, they've even said it's not clean, they're not the answer. So anyway, I tell you what, this is a great way to go, and it's really scenic, but the traffic is horrendous. I guess that's everywhere. I did forget that this is an absolutely gorgeous way to come, but it's a nightmare because you're on the B roads and you're going through a lot of the towns. But we're not moaning on today's video. This is going to be a positive one. It's just a little video just to see what the B roads are like and the charges. Now, there is a charger here near Hebden Bridge, but I'm not going to charge up just yet. I've got 74%, 178 miles. I've got plenty of range anyway, but I do want to just test out the charging system along the way and see what it's like. So it should be okay, I hope. Fingers crossed. You never know. That's the thing, you never know until you get there. Now, if you watched my video the other day that I did, where I said I was wrong, I love electric cars, etc., which obviously was a Mickey take, because I'm not keen. Oh, I said the future is all electric, etc. Well, obviously I don't believe it is, but who knows? I haven't got a crystal ball. But what I did mention in there was the video that, and I've looked more into this, the video that Jeff Buys Cars did of the geofencing on your electric cars. And it's scary, it really is. Now, you could do it. Let me just turn this air conditioning off so the sound's better. You could effectively do it on an internal combustion engine as well, because you could geofence it as well with all the latest computer systems on board. It's not just a thing, I guess, with electric cars. I'm presuming it's a lot easier with electric cars than it is with an internal combustion engine. But they could switch your car off just like that. If they want, they can stop you going into certain areas and certain parts of the country, etc., on certain days at certain times. So that gives them control over your car, a little bit like a drone. Now, I mentioned that they do geofencing on a drone, and somebody had a go at me and said, well, I think you'll find that it needs to. You're not being right. You're being irresponsible, thinking that drones shouldn't have geofencing on. I never said drones shouldn't have geofencing on them. Obviously, with a drone, you don't want it flying into a restricted airspace. So, of course, drones should have geofencing on them. But should cars? Definitely not. I mean, that's just ridiculous. We're not going into unrestricted airspace. I think a no entry sign or whatever suffices. Why would they want to switch your car off or stop you going into certain areas at certain times? It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Anyway, I tell you what I do like about electric cars. Here's a positive, right? With internal combustion engine cars, I absolutely despise that auto start stop function. The first thing, if you've got it in your petrol or your diesel car, I bet you the first thing you do when you get into your car, switch that off. It's pointless, isn't it? You switch it off. I think that's the EU again. The EU bring out absolutely ridiculous rules. I think they brought that out. They brought out cookies, which I've said before, which annoys you on computers. Pop-up box, this is cookies, go away. And then they've made Apple change over to the USB instead of Lightning, which I guess is a good thing, really. But they have some silly ideas, don't they? They'll be like councillors, won't they? Based there, dressed in beige with a comb over, and I've said before, the sandwiches in triangles. Oh, I tell you what, how could we annoy people? Let's put cookies on it. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, onwards, my friends. Right, well, there was a McDonald's back there about 3 miles back, and that had some chargers. Now, they'll probably be Instavolt for a guess. So I'm not going to go there because I don't particularly need any charge at the moment. I want to leave it towards the end of my journey so I can top my car up, and then I've got enough power to get back or to get around in the Lake District, etc., and then back to Leeds after. So I'm going to try and leave it as long as I can. Plus, it's raining at the moment. It's absolutely tipping it down. It's April showers, as my mum used to say, and I'm going to get wet through if I try and charge my car at the moment, because I've mentioned this a million times, and I don't understand why they think that people with electric cars should be out in the rain handling electricity. It doesn't make any sense. I just find it absolute mad. So I'm going to leave it as long as I can until it dries up, if it does ever dry up. By the way, talking about the weather, have you noticed that the Met Office in the UK, it's on the news all the time? It said the other day, snowstorm to hit the UK, to blanket the UK. It never came. It was like, and then the other day, about the day after, it said we're going to get hit with heat waves. And I'm waiting for the heat waves. I'll probably be waiting a while. It's like they try and scare you all the time, doesn't it? It's going to be floods. There's going to be blankets of snow. We're not going to be able to move. And then there's going to be heat waves, and we're all going to burn because it's so hot. What a load of... Do you know what? When I went to Perth the other week, it was 40 odd degrees in Perth. and it was not even on the news. Nobody bothered about it. There was like, yeah, it's hot. Nobody was bothered about it. They never made a big thing about it. If you're watching in Australia, do you make a big thing of your weather? It's like you just get on with it. And it was great. There was no droughts, there was nothing really. It was, oh, welcome to Skipton. There we go. Yes, this is the way that I used to come with my mum and dad, and they had some fantastic fish and chip shops this way as well. Ooh, I tell you what, is it dinner time yet? Not just yet, it's only 3:56. Shame. Could have had fish and chips. There was that, if you can hear the rain by the way, I do apologise. If you watch that last clip, there was, I think it was a VW, is it ID Buzz or whatever it is? It's like the EV camper van. I have to say, oh, it pains me to say, I really like the look of that car, and I'd love to test drive one. VW, if you're watching, I'd love to test drive one of them. Is it VW ID Buzz camper vans? Now that would be interesting. However, I have been told, and correct me if I'm wrong, as you always do in the comment section, that is classed as a van, is it, or something, because of the weight of it, because it's over the weight limit. So it's actually classed as is it like a van or a lorry or a small goods vehicle or something? Pop that in the comment section down below, because of the weight of it, of all the batteries, etc. But it does look a really cool car. I met somebody actually on the way to Land's End with one, and they had one. It was a family and they were on the video and they loved it, but they just said again, the range and the charging and the infrastructure were just not good enough, and they'd stopped twice on their journey down to Cornwall with a child and a dog, and they had to stop twice to charge, which is just madness with a family, isn't it? And that's where the issue is. Yet it's very easy to say, well, most people charge at home, because in reality that just restricts you, doesn't it? A lot of people go on longer journeys. So anyway, but I love that car. I love it. I do like the look of it, considering most electric cars look terrible. They look awful. This is great. The Audi e-tron's great, and that ID Buzz, it's fantastic. That looks a fun car, I have to say. Right, so we're in a lovely little village here, and I've just done a search for the nearest charge point here, and there isn't one. Yeah, this is a village. There's an electric car there though, a Chronic Ionic. You would think so, and it's not come up here that there's a charger anywhere. Do you know what? I reckon I can't see anywhere to pull in. I would have thought there'd have been a charger here. Let's see if I can pull over anywhere and find out. What a beautiful place. Lots of speed cameras though. Lots of speed cameras. Actually, how about this? They put charge points in speed cameras. There'd be loads then, wouldn't you? That's it. That is it. There's the answer. Put charge points in the speed camera electric part of it, you know, the electric power source of it, and then we're sorted, because they're everywhere. Right, so let's see, where's the nearest charge point? Here we go.
Genie Point, Morrison, Skipton, Borden Road, 60 kW, in Craven. Would you like to start route guidance?
No, so that's 6.1 miles away if I want a charger now, if I was out of charge. So I'd have to go out of my way there to Skipton, Is that on the way? I don't think it is. So I'd have to literally go 6.1 miles away. So I'd have to slightly go out of my way to go and get a charge. Surely there would have been one back there, but I checked and it didn't show on the map here. It didn't show on my Waze here as well, because I've got that showing charge points. So you'd think these smaller little villages, and that's your issue really, isn't it? You're not only going to have charge points along your motorways and your A roads, you're going to have to put a lot more charge points along B roads as well. Now, I know the evangelists will argue that if you are on B roads, then it's most likely that you live there and you will charge at home, etc. But there are people like myself now who will be going through these B roads to get to a destination. So we're going to have to up the game on that as well. And it's still not stopped raining. I bet the Australians who are watching this think, my word, there's so much rain in this country. Right, anyway, I'm sure we'll find a charger. I know that there's a couple when we get to the Lake District. There's a couple in Windermere at booths there, and I've charged on that before. But they're always busy, and there's always a wait for them. And I think the last time I filmed it actually, and there was somebody had jumped in front of me, and I got angry with them. But I got up to them and they were like, oh, I'm really sorry, we didn't realise. Because there's no way of knowing, because there's no queue or a line, you know, like when you go in a petrol station. Everybody, it's a kind of a free-for-all to get into it. You never know who's next, and that's part of the issue, isn't it? That's why they're having to have these wardens on to stop people from fighting to get to the to get to the chargers. Madness, isn't it? Madness. Stuck behind a tractor now. Now that's a thing. Our tractor's going to go all electric as well. They should have an all electric tractor, all electric lorries, all electric buses, all electric cars. What about ships as well? Because they, I believe, are one of the biggest polluting vehicles, if that's what you want to call it. Ship is a vehicle, isn't it? They're one of the biggest polluted vehicles out there, and that's a ship. So are they going to go all electric as well? I mean, that is really mixing water with electric then, isn't it? And then your aeroplanes, you're going to make them electric as well. It's where does it end to try and reach this net zero that people want to reach? It's that's unachievable really, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going into it because what I think, I'm not telling you what I think you already know what I think about that. Anyway, onwards my friends. I can see a charger near Lancaster, which is a mile away on here. So this is actually an A road. We're on some B roads as well, so little back roads as well as A roads. But the smaller roads of the UK might be better off easier just on a motorway. And will we ever get to the point where I've heard this, and you never know what to believe, fish and chips. You never know what to believe, whether we can have roads that charge your car, so you've got wireless charging. Will we ever get to that? Anyway, look at these villages, they're amazing. Now there was a Tesla there, so I'm guessing there's got to be somewhere to charge around here. Now if I can pull in, I could have had a look on the Zap map, which is probably your best way of finding a charger, because the Porsche one I actually think is nigh on useless, and the Waze one again for charging useless. Saying that, I've used ZapMap before, and it doesn't always give you an up-to-date idea of these chargers, because you get to them and then they're not in use, even though it says that they are on the app itself. Now I'm not going to be able to pull over anywhere here, but that's the issue with ZapMap. In fact, is this a bus stop? Is there a camera on here where I'm going to get done? Right, let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Right, no, there is nothing around here. The nearest one is in Craven, wherever that is, so nothing here at all, even on ZapMap. It looks a bit of a charging desert, I have to say. Anyway, come on, onwards, my friends. So I've just done a quick where's the nearest charge point and asked the car, and it said the nearest one was a slow charger at a hotel back there, so that's the only one. The nearest one after that is 6 Tesla. The nearest one pulled in at a lay-by. I wonder whether it's wanted to charge. The nearest one after that, it's still saying Skipton, which is the opposite direction. So it's getting further and further away. You'd have to turn around and go back the other way. It's madness, isn't it? They need to look not just on the main roads and on the motorways, but on these roads within the countryside as well, and put more charge points, because until we get a car where you can do 1,000 miles of range where you don't have to worry, maybe that'd be great, wouldn't it? 1,000 miles of range in a car. I'm sure you'll get some evangelist telling me, well, I think you'll find that's coming, it won't be long, battery technology is improving all the time. Yeah, we've been told that for ages, but it's just they need to up the game a little bit with the infrastructure. I'm going to coin a phrase here, what evangelists actually say, and if you're going to come on a journey around the UK on Britain's B roads and in the countryside, then you're going to have to plan your journey. You can't just get in your car. And if you have to plan your journey, does that not take away some of the fun of driving a car? Getting in your car, getting on the open road and just going, just driving into infinity without a care in the world. Have you noticed, by the way, that your car insurance has gone up recently? I don't know whether you've had your car insured recently. I had mine insured and it went up. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be honest, but the price of insurance has gone up quite a lot. My daughter Caitlin went to insure her car, and she's only got a little petrol car. I don't even think it's a 1 litre, and she pootles around in it. And she rang me and says, I can't believe how much it's gone up, Dad. And I said, I know, it's increased quite a lot. Now, my mate works for an insurance company, a big insurance company that's based all over in different parts of the world. And I've said to him, is there any, truth in the fact that electric cars have added to that, and they've had to increase the insurance premiums to cover for the electric cars? Because if an electric car has an accident, as we know, and it damages the batteries on it, you can't repair them. They're irreparable because of the price of the battery. It's like this car, 45 grand for a new battery, I've said numerous times on this channel, plus obviously the labour of it as well. So the price of the car and the cost of the car, it would become a write-off. Now, the insurance companies are going to have to stand the cost for that. So are the insurance companies incorporating in their increased premiums the fact that electric cars are having to be written off? So petrol car owners are actually having to pay the price for the EV owners. And he said, well, he gave me a look and he said, not saying a word. So there we go. Make that one up for yourself and let me know. I'm keeping an eye out for a charger here, but I can't see it. Obviously I'm not going to find anything here because we're in the middle of nowhere. There's a cafe Should be one there. I wonder if there's one there. It's showing nothing on my map, by the way. Nothing at all. Hey, did you see that? Electric MG. Morag would be getting excited there, wouldn't she, eh? Right, now then, there should be somewhere in here. Ah, here we go. Pod point, but I think you have to pay and display as well. And there is an MG on charge. Morag. Hey, steady, steady, easy, easy. Right, now I'm going to try and charge here with Pod Point. However, I think you have to have an app. It's also raining. I also have to pay and display as well. It says electric vehicle charging only Pod Point. Have you paid and displayed your ticket? So you've got to pay and display as well as pay for your electricity. Beautiful place, by the way, Ingleton. Anyway, let's switch this milk float off and let's go and see what this is like if we had to charge here. Right, hang on, I need a brolly now because it's raining, so I need to keep dry. Or shall I? Well, I need a brolly for you because I need to get my cable out of the car and plug that in. So this is going to be a tricky one actually. So all the evangelist says, well, all you need is a brolly. So we'll try and do it with a brolly. So there we go, I've got my brolly. Okay, you might have to get a bit wet. Now I'm going to go and get the cable out of the car. Come on then, and you Morag, who watches the channel because she likes MGs, there's one there, look. Right, so I've got to get my cable out of the boot now. Are you going to be able to see me? Ah, there you are. Now then, I've got an interesting thing because I've got a load of stuff in here now and I can't. My cable's under all these. Oh, no. Right, so my cable's under all these, so I'm going to have to pop that there, on the floor there. I'm going to have to pop that there, on the floor there, like that. Oh, my brolly. Oh. Hang on. There we go. Right, so I've got my brolly. I'm just going to try and get this. Oh, that's in the way. Hang on. Jigsaw's in the way. There we go. Just need to get that jigsaw out of the way and then get my cable, which is there, under here. There we go, cable's there. Get that out. There we go. Right, and now I'm just going to have to pop my bags back because they're getting wet. So I'll pop my bags back there like that. Oh, B road, I think B stands for ball ache, doesn't it? Right, let's get that there. Got my brolly though as well. Right, let's get the, try and close the boot. Hopefully that'll close. Right, now I've got my brolly because they said it's easier with a brolly. This is what the evangelist said, you need a brolly, that's all. What's wrong with a brolly? You don't need an overhang or anything. So let's try and get this in the car. 1 second. I think that end goes in, the smaller end goes in. Then we've got to download the app. I think I might have the app. Hang on, that cable goes in there. There we go. This end goes in the Pod Point. Right, so we lift that up. That goes in there like that. There we go. Right, now I need to download the app. Oh, hang on a minute. My phone's in my car. I'll be back in a minute. I need my phone to get the app now and put in the. I need to download the app and then put in this code here. So you'll have to bear with me a minute. 1 minute. Right, I'm back. Okay, it is fairly easy. Honestly, I've got a brolly as well, so it's keeping me dry at the same time. Makes it very easy. Right, let's have a look. So if we open, I might have already got the Pod Point. Yes, I've already got the app. If you haven't, then you need to download it. And here we go, allow where it knows where I am. And then what I need to do now is type in Dirk Ivor, I think it is. So search for Pod Point, Dirk Ivor, Dirk Ivor. Hang on, I'm doing it. I'm not making it difficult, I'm making it easy. Dirk Ivor, there we go, 7 kilowatt. Okay, so it's 450. So if I click that, okay, it's type, is it B that I'm in? Am I in B? Yeah, I'm in B. So confirm charge. Oh no! Please confirm your charge using one of the. You have to sign up or log in. Have I already got an account? I think I might have an account. I don't know my password though. 1 second. Oh, the email address doesn't match your password. Why? It does. That's it. That's it. That's my email address. The email address and or passwords you've entered doesn't match our records. Well, that is it. Let me just try add in this. 1 second. Sorry, let me keep you dry there a minute. Okay. Right, let's try that one. Log in. The email address doesn't match. If you believe these details are correct. They are correct. Password for PodPoint. It's in my phone. It says password for podpoint.com with my email address. And that's saying it is it. And it's saying it's not it. So, hang on. Right. Log in. Put my account in. Let's PodPoint. Let me go into my keychains here. And it says suggested passwords. And then my email address, pod-point.com. So, that's the one I want. Let's try again. Log in. It says it doesn't. This is just nuts. I've logged in before. Is it because I've not logged in for a while and they've got rid of my account? I'll be back in a minute. Right, so I've now requested to reset my password. So it's sent me an email now and it's verifying. Reset password. It had already got a password in. I don't know why. I'd already got one before. So I want to use my own password, choose my own password. So new password, so I'll put this in. 1 second. And then confirm password. Oh, hang on. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. Keep me company. Confirm. Passwords do not match. Ah! Hang on, give me a minute. I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm getting wet. 1 second. Confirm. Passwords do not match. It must be the top one that's wrong then. Hang on then. Stay with me. Ah, password updated. Okay, password updated. We're getting there. We're getting there. Right, it's only took me 10 minutes so far. All done. Your password's been successfully updated. So now I need to go back to PodPoint app, log in. Okay, here we go. Let's try it this time. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Update password. Accept the terms and conditions. I'm not even going to read them. So confirm charge. Insufficient balance. Right. Please top up so you can start charging. Top up now. Right, I can add with Apple Pay. Would you like to add? So I'll add £5 with Apple Pay. Here we go. Okay, so I need to top up my account. So I'm topping up. I'm adding a £5 onto it. Here we go. Spent £5 at PodPoint. Okay, right. Confirm charge. Thanks for your payment. That's come on. Right. You have confirmed charging at Dirk Ivor at Craven District Council. Community centre available. Okay, right, well, is it charging? It's not doing anything yet. It just says available. Confirm charge. What is this doing? It just says your vehicle will continue to charge until you unplug your vehicle or your battery is full and tell your vehicle to stop. But it's not saying it's charging. Let me have a look on the car. Let's have one look on the car. I think it's stopping raining. There's always oh, hang on a minute. Spitting a little bit, but it's getting better. Now it says charging not possible. So it says 56% 132. Why is it not charging? It's in green. Ah, hang on. We might be in luck. What's that? No, birds better not poo on my car. I think we're charging now. Yes, we're charging. Here we go. It is now 4:58 in the afternoon. This is a slow charger, but we should be done. If we're in an emergency and there's nothing close by, we'd be done by 1:30 in the morning, so that's not too bad. I can have a wander around and come back at 1:30. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a little wander around and show you Ingleton. Here's what it says on the charger. We're now at 56%. It's 4:50. Let's say 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, we're at 56%. I've got to go and pay for the car park as well. Or shall I risk it? 5 o'clock now. Nobody's going to bother, are they? I think I might risk it. Shall I risk it? I mean, really, I'm paying for the charger. I think we'll be all right. I'm only going to walk down the road and back. Let's have a look at this anyway. Right, I'm going to get my coat on rather than carry a brolly. Now it's baited a bit, so let's get my coat on, show you around Ingleton, just down here. Lovely little village. Obviously these are slow chargers while you're off getting something to eat, etc. or whatever, but I think the nearest one's quite a few miles away, and it's an InstaVolt, which is quite expensive. These are very slow though, but if you're in an emergency, then it'll give you a little bit of a top up. After you've messed around and downloaded the app, logged in, got yourself an account, waited for the email to come back through, and it's a bit of a faff, isn't it? Rather than just fill up with petrol and go. Come on. Now I am being a bit of a rebel because I'm not putting a parking ticket on my car. It's 5 o'clock at night, and I actually think if you're charging your car, you should get free parking, or at least discounted parking. What do you reckon? Anyway, I'm only going to go and show you Ingleton, and then we're going to get back on the road again. Right, here we are, Ingleton. It started raining again, and I'm going to coin a phrase from a public, what is it, public service announcements or whatever it is, from years ago. Yeah, I don't really remember this. It says, I wish I'd brought my brolly.
Oh, it started to rain. Wish I'd brought my brolly.
Anyway, it's, yeah, not good weather. Ingleton, land of caves and waterfalls. A lovely little village pub there. Got a viaduct over there as well. I look a right bod with this blooming hood on, don't I? Look a right knob. Lovely little village this. What's this, a little water pump thing or something? A little water pump. I love stuff like this. You know what? England's really cool, is really, and wet. Ah, fish and chips, but I think it's closed today. So there is a fish and chip shop down here, but it is closed today because I checked. I did my, I planned my journey there. Ingleton chippy, there it is. I've been to it before with Sarah and the kids, and it's a great chippy, and it's only open on certain days. But if you do come to Ingleton on a nice day, it is. Oh, that's horrible. Oh. One of us. One of us. Ingleton chippy. Here you go, fish and chips. But it is closed today. Right, let's get back to the car because it's not very nice weather, and let's get up to the Lake District and see if there's any more charges along the way. That's not going to have charged a lot at all. I can't remember what percentage I said, but it's not going to get very far on that one. Right, okay, so there's public toilets here as well. Now in England, a lot of toilets you have to pay to go in, 30, 40p, whatever. Some of them are £1. This one here has got an honesty box, look. Could go in there and leave them 1p. Do you get it? 1p? No? Forget it. Let's go and see how much it is to park here. To be fair, that's not bad. Over 4 hours or a weekly ticket for 15 quid. That's not bad at all. Shouldn't really moan about that one. But if you are charging, you should get it for free. Right now I'm going to unplug this. I can't remember what percentage I said I was at. Let's have a look what we're at now. Right, so it was 5 o'clock when we left and it was at 56%. It's now 20 past 5 and we're at 58%, so that's really cool. 2%. Let's get this unplugged, get all my stuff out of the boot, get the cable back into the boot again, and then get on the road onwards. Right, let's pop that back on there, get this end out, and then pop all this, wind this back up again. Oh, hang on, we're going to put the end of that on as well, just to keep that safe. There we go. By the way, this didn't come with the car. Porsche don't give you a charging cable. They give you one to plug into a 3-pin socket, which is nigh on useless really, but you don't get a cable to charge it up with. You'd think you'd get a cable, wouldn't you? Blimey. Come on, let's get this back in the boot. Right, so let's get that out, that out, that out, and then lift that up, put that back in there, nice and safe. Put that down again, stick this back in, pop that in there like that, pop that back, there we go, stick that in there, and then that bag will go in there like that. I think that'll work. Then close the boot. Oh, there we go. I guess it's handy if you're sort of like camping here or whatever and you just want to leave your car on charge, etc. But these, and if you've got an account, make sure you've got an account. That's a nightmare. I had an account and I had my password saved within Apple Keychain and it still didn't remember it. Anyway, let's get back in the car and let's get back on the road. Good grief. I mean, obviously I didn't particularly need any charge. I'm just showing you how easy it is to charge up on Britain's B roads. B for Ball Lake. Come on. Right, I've got the invoice for that now, by the way. How much do you think it cost me for, what was it, 2 or 3%? Right, to charge up on Pod Point? Wait for this. £4.17. £4.17 to charge up on that. That's insane. That's absolute madness. Honestly, £4. Let me just put that in park again. £4.17. That's nuts. It says here, yeah, 4 Pod Point. Thanks for your payment. Subtotal £4.17. Tax of 20%, which is 83 pence. Doesn't tell me. Does it tell me if I go on to my Pod Point of what I've actually done, stats, etc. Kilowatts added. 2.4 kilowatts added. That's nuts. That's absolute madness. Right, phone call coming in. Onwards, my friends. An MG. That could be Morag. Let's get out of here. You know, I've just been thinking, if you go to a place like that, there's a lot of caravans there at Ingleton, and although you wouldn't have your caravan attached if you was charging it at that charger, what happens if you're on a caravan journey in an electric car towing a caravan? Now, a lot of the chargers you have to pull in forward. Now, surely you're going to have to uncouple the caravan, put the caravan to one side, then go and charge up. It's going to be an absolute nightmare if you've got a caravan, isn't it? How are you going to charge? How easy is it going to be to charge with a caravan? Because it's easy with a filling station, with a petrol station. You pull in with a caravan, okay, you might be taking up the pump behind, but only for 5 minutes will you fill it up, and then you're on your way. But with a charger, you can have a caravan stuck out the back. It's just, nobody's thought these things out, have they, when they actually started this infrastructure that is just garbage. But nobody's thought this through, have they? It's like, oh, we need to get to net zero for some reason, let's just have battery operated cars. It's ludicrous is the word. Ludicrous. You know, I've got to say, I'm always bleating on and banging on about, in my personal opinion, another MG electric car. They look awful. Good grief. I'm always bleating on about, and the BMW electric as well, that looks awful. Every electric car looks awful. Now a Prius as well. I mean, didn't we learn from the Prius? They looked awful. Good grief. I feel like I'm on this escapade. I keep bleating on about electric cars not being the future, in my opinion, and I think they're all about control, etc. And I reckon I am right, but only time will tell. But I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall sometimes, and the people that do agree with me and are on my side, do me a favour and just hit the thumbs up and push the video out, because I feel like I'm on a losing streak here, because there's so many evangelists now giving me hassle in the comments section and having a go at me, and Morag tweeting me all the time saying that I'm a liar and I'm doing it all just to make it look difficult, and it's not that difficult and it's so easy to charge, etc. And let's get out of here. It's just it's literally like banging my head against a brick wall. Honestly, I don't get these evangelists and how passionate they are about their electric cars, and they must know deep down, I mean, I am an EV owner, they must know deep down that it's a pain in the backside to charge your car, and as a form of mobility and a form of transport, where's this guy going, form of transport, then it's not fit for purpose. They've got to know it. There's got to be something, there's something more sinister going on, in my opinion, because it's not the answer, and I don't understand what's going on. There's an MG electric car on the back of a pickup truck. I'm not making that up, it was an orange one. I wonder whether they're delivering it as a new car or it's broken down. Morag or so was making that up as well, but I'm not. I swear there was an orange MG electric car in the back of a pickup. I've seen so many MGs today. Must be something, must be a sign, must be an omen. Right, so I'm going to just quickly see where the nearest charge point is now. I'm going to be up in the Lake District, around the lakes now, for the next few days. I'm going to do some videos as well. I'm going to do a few, not all electric car videos. I'm going to do some food videos, some wandering around different places, etc. Police reported ahead. Where are we? I wonder whether it's a speed van. Come on, Waze, have you saved me from a speed trap? Although I wasn't speeding, I don't go that fast. Is there a speed van here? And there's a guy speeding past me. Can't see anything. Not there. Nope, not there. Anyway, right, I'm going to be doing a few videos from around the Lake District. Some around Ulverston, I think, which is where Stan Laurel was born. There's a good fish and chip shop there as well, and some other places. It's a nice little town, so I'll show you around there. Going to go around Bowness, going to go around Windermere, etc. Maybe Kendal and Keswick as well, and show you a few different places around the Lake District. Not all car videos, so do hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up as well. Let's see where the nearest charge point is now. So where's the nearest charge point?
Fools Merley Moss, 50 kW, in Kendal. Would you like to start route guidance?
So we've got 7.9 mile, 8.1 mile, then 11 mile. So basically quite far away, to be fair. I always charge when I'm up here at Instavolt. I know it's the most expensive, but there's one in Ulverston at Booths. It's a fast charger. I always charge there. Or if I'm going back down to Leeds, etc., or back down to Mansfield from here, then I'll charge up at Porsche South Lakes, because that's a really fast charger. So there you go. I think they need to look at more chargers along the B roads and the smaller roads, and not just concentrate on larger roads and motorways, etc. And I think that way it'll be easier to charge your electric car. However, I still think what a daft idea it really is. And if you think the EVs are not the future, do me a favour, make a comment in the comment section down below and put EVs suck, and then let me know, and it helps push that video out. So, in my opinion, are electric cars the future? Absolutely not. But who knows? Who knows what the future will be? I'm lucky enough that if I want to go back to a petrol car, or when I can go back to a petrol car, then I can do, and I can have one as long as I'm alive, unless they bring in some law to say after 2030, watch this space, you know, 2030, I reckon they'll bring in some kind of law to say you can't have an old internal combustion engine car. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. But I tell you what, my next car, 911, that's going hybrid though. Good grief, what's happening? I mean, and the Boxster going electric, that's madness. That's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up, and also hit the subscribe button. Lots of content coming your way, and we'll do some that aren't just electric car videos. See you later. Bye bye. Go on then, I'm running out of battery.